Yeah, they're getting excited already, the pigs. We're gonna get the camper set up. They're gonna be staying in the camper and have a week of family hanging out, but we're gonna go feed the pigs, and that's kind of what we're gonna do in this video. We're gonna talk about pigs, talk about why you should get pigs, maybe why you shouldn't, and just kind of like my personal take, so to speak, on pigs, why I like them so much. So we'll get to that.
Daddy, I heard beeping in here from the dish.
Oh yeah? I want 4 full scoops.
My did it full guy.
It's pretty good.
Woo! And the other.
There's 2. 3. Okay. Sure. Watch out. Sorry, they're pretty hungry.
Can I water them?
Looks like the boys already did. Although tomorrow we'll need to dump that out and get them clean water. Not right now. I'm gonna do the video, okay? So we have heritage breed pigs. We did the first time we did it last year. I got 3 pigs from a farmer down the street who does commercial pigs. So they were just your normal pink pigs. So maybe you're on a homestead currently, maybe you've just got chickens or you just got ducks, or maybe you started out and you've got some goats or a cow or something and you're thinking, I would like to get pigs. There are a lot of great reasons to have pigs. Reason number 1, if you have a dairy animal, anytime you have milk waste. So if we're doing the milking and Dahlia kicks over the bucket and gets, poop all over in the milk, or we get dirty hay inside the milk, we're not gonna drink that milk. We're not gonna take that risk. You can bring it right out, dump it in a bowl, and the pigs will devour it. They will drink it up. They eat cow poop. That's one of the things that they do. So it doesn't bother them. Their systems are made to handle that. Other reasons, anytime you're doing cooking in the house, you cook some chicken wings and you eat it and you've got all these bones left over. You do a whole chicken and you've got the skeleton left. You make vegetables, you're cutting the tops off of tomatoes, you're cutting, a brown spot out of an apple or out of a cucumber that you're not gonna eat. All of that goes in a scrap bucket, and every day we give that to our pigs. So we turn all of our food, so long as it's not molding and like actually rotting, we give it to our pigs. We turn it into bacon, and it's amazing. It's delicious. The pigs, obviously, not the gross food. I highly recommend them for that reason. Reason number 2, and we're gonna be doing this here, but let me show you. Next amazing reason. I know it's a little darker here than it was out there. I'm trying to get a little shade. The sun is really hot. We have all this beautiful farmland. It's tillable. It's been soybeans last year, and it's been who knows what the years before. It's tough ground, and if you don't have a rototiller and you want to get something like that rooted up so that you can get grass growing on it so that it can look like our field right here, our pasture, you can use pigs. You can use the mobile fencing like we do. We've got Premier Fencing, and that's what these pigs here are for, is we're going to move them here in about maybe a week out onto these fields. We're going to use their noses. As you can see, they've just dug up this area in here. They've made an absolute awesome tilled area. So this is perfect. I can come in all of this grass seed. I'm going to plant grass seed, and we're going to get new grass coming up, and it's going to be amazing. of the pitfalls of being a farmer is you zap yourself or hit your head all the time. Ugh. That did not feel good. All right. Well, hopefully it's not too windy and the wind sound isn't like overbearing. One of the other reasons that I love pigs is they're adorable and they have amazing personalities. So you know how you get a dog and your dog is, whatever, it's a dog. I love dogs, not whatever in a bad way. But you get a dog and they have personality. This dog has, an active personality, or this dog might have a quieter personality, but when he gets outside is wild or something. Pigs are the same way. Each one has its own unique personality. It's hilarious as we go through and we learn them. Hey, babe. You Instagramming? I am. Oh, that's great. Come back. He can be in it. Just be quiet.
I didn't want to be scared. I was going to Instagram. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. Come on, Jack. Come up here.
But not that got honking and me
Oh, good.
making
Making it unlocked.
collecting.
Clicking noise.
Yeah.
That is so exciting. Interruption there, I'm sorry, but we're trying to get these calves. We're starting to wean them, as you saw in, I think it was last video or 2 videos ago. But they're finally eating larger amounts of grain, which is amazing. That's exactly what we want. But pigs have personalities. They're just as strong of personalities as I would say some people, but as dogs or cats might have. It's quite amazing. What?
Open the door.
Okay.
So on that side.
Give me a second. Remember, I'm still videoing. So now we get to the other side of that. There's some pros. The pros that we've used, I've given right there. On top of those ones I gave, obviously, being a meat animal and being an animal that if you get a breeding pair, which we have now, they'll breed twice a year almost, and you'll get as many, if not more, pigs that we have here per birth. Going on to the cons list. This list for me is very short. Some things, and this is an opinion thing, that others might say, oh, well, that's a con, like they dig up the yard. I look at that as a pro. They dig up the yard. I'm going to put them in areas where I want them to go through, and I want them to regenerate. I want to dig up the grass. I want them to eat dandelion roots. I want them to get all the trash plants and eat the roots out of those, dig it up so I can come spread some grass seed down, and I can grow pastures. And then after that, you just cycle them on pastures, and you just keep refreshing, and it's amazing. Once the grass is growing, grass drops seed naturally. So they come through, they'll dig it up, and tear up what looks like your good grass, but then a couple of weeks later, if it's in the summer or if it's in the late fall, it'll be as soon as spring starts, you're getting fresh grass shoots growing up, and then they grow, they're strong, they're healthy, and it's called stirring up the seed bank. So I view that as a pro, but some people might view that as a con. Other thing, pigs can be aggressive, food aggressive, not like mean aggressive, just like, for instance, when I went, they're small still. They're, maybe 50, 60, 70 pounds, somewhere in that range. They're not real big yet. I'm wearing flip-flops today, but as soon as they start getting any bigger, their hooves are sharp and they're heavy, and you have to wear like footwear for them to come stomp on your toes, because they're going to come try and grab the food when you're trying to feed them from the bucket. That's a con, to me at least. So when they get older, I have to go out with the kids and make sure that they're being not knocked down for the food. The pig won't try and hurt them on purpose, but they'll just be really food aggressive. Pigs are really smart. I would put in the cons list. I don't mind them being smart per se. They are escape artists. They will find a way to escape. they'll learn the times when they're like, oh, the electric fence isn't on, or it's not hitting very strong. And all of a sudden you look out and you have no pigs in your pasture that you've got them in. You've got pigs outside of the pasture digging it up and tearing it up. So again, small things, you can just keep an eye on them. If you have a huge predator presence, large predators especially, that can be a big con because you don't want to lose your animals. You don't want them to get eaten. We have coyotes here maybe. I haven't really seen much coyote activity where we're at, but still kind of early in the year for that. And let me address kind of a misnomer. People say, oh, pigs are filthy. You think, oh, they're wallowing in mud and they're gross and they make a huge mess. It's actually not true. Pigs are very cleanly inclined animals. All the pigs that we've ever owned, they choose one spot in their pasture, or for instance, it's in our barn right now, and they choose that area and they all go use the bathroom over there. And then they come away and they sleep on the other side and they eat further away from it. And they just do that naturally. They wallow in mud, but they do that to cool off when they're warm. But beyond that, they're not wallowing in poop if they can help it. They're not trying to make a big mess and be a disaster. So they're actually fairly cleanly animals, even though they eat basically refuse and garbage. Is there anything else you can think of? I'm doing pros and cons, why you should or shouldn't have pigs. They obviously bacon. They turn into, or they eat all your scraps. If you have a cow, any milk, they drink that. Any whey or whatever, they'll till for you, clear ground. They're cute and they have great personalities. And then cons, I went back to the tilling thing, saying this is one that some people might look at and say is a con because they don't want their yard disrupted.
The only other con would be there, depending on what you're used to. If you're going from chickens to a bigger animal to pigs, it's a bigger animal, it's more of a responsibility, a little more involved, just a little more responsibility than a chicken. Chickens are just really easy. But while they're not a guard animal, just having any larger animal around helps. You know, they're adjacent to our birds. They're not running around our birds in their area. But just when you have other animals that are larger than a small bird, that just helps ward off other predators.
Yeah.
And they're fun to have around. Kids love them.
Yeah.
Daddy,
What, bud?
I open my window.
No, not yet.
I know what you need.
Just wait, bud.
Did you say 6 to 10 or 8 to 10?
6 to 10.
Another thing I'll touch on, and I think this is true, especially of starting farmers or homesteaders, is where do you get animals like this? Like, obviously, there's chick days at Tractor Supply. That one's kind of easy. Everybody can figure that one out eventually. But a lot of people, me included, I wanted to do something like pigs. I had no idea where to do them. Thank you, Jay. And it kind of became this thing where I had a neighbor who was a commercial pig farmer, and I just one day went, you know what? I'm gonna stop, and I'm just gonna ask him, either does he sell piglets or does he know where somebody like me can get piglets? And I stopped, and he was like, yep, sure, I'll I could sell you 3 of them for this amount of money. And I said, okay, sounds good. We came, I think, 1 or 2 days later and picked them up and had them. Our current pigs was my dad knew a guy who he had found was doing pig farm stuff. And so it was really a stroke of luck that we found these pigs that we did. But you can go, there's Facebook groups, there's Craigslist, and then you can just Google, find local pig farms, people who are selling pig, pork, and just start making phone calls. That's actually how we got Josie, is we had no idea how to get a milk cow. Like, I had no clue. The people I knew who were farmers for dairy, they had big Holstein farms, and I didn't know them, but like the ones that I saw. And we found a creamery that dealt solely in Jersey cows, and I just wrote him an email. I said, hey, I'm a homesteader. We live kind of in this area. And I said, I have no idea how to find or even get, if I want a Jersey cow or one that's, about to have a calf or has a calf and is in milk. Like, I don't know anything about it. How do I do that? And they actually emailed us back and said, hey, we're selling. They had one that they were selling, and then he had one that was on his farm that was a friend of his that they were selling, and that was Josie.
Call your local like farm vet, not like a dog vet,
Yeah.
but like larger animal vet. That's what I did to find Dahlia.
That's
and
right.
I just said, do you know anyone who would have, not anyone who's selling, but anyone who would have resources, people to contact? Because once you find people in the farming community, they're very friendly, they're very helpful, and if they can't help you, they usually know someone who can. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you could find a pig that way, but that's how we found Dahlia.
Yeah. Eventually, we are going to be selling piglets. That's probably going to be
Probably close to a year.
yeah,
at
close to
least,
a
but-
year from now before we start that. But so keep us on your radar if you're interested. Anything else you can think of? Pro cons or excuse me, man, I got the hiccups. Anything else pig related? I can't think of anything. All right. Well, we're gonna get the camper hooked up. Hopefully, I'm not gonna get the van stuck in the grass. The grass is still a little soft, but we need to get this thing moved over into the driveway here, about where the van is. So, I guess that'll be the end of the video. Appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, follow, notification bell, do all the things. Share this video. Maybe you have people that are interested in farming or who might want to see a channel that's growing and learning. Maybe they want to learn how to get pigs. I don't know. But share the video, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Thanks. Jake, can you help Curtis